Thoughts about the afterlife. Chapter 6. A case file will be presented to the Spirit of God. There's an assessment, a measuring of God's dwelling place. This reminds me of the imagery in the book of Zechariah, of an angel making an assessment of the state of Jerusalem, of Zion, of our innermost being, which is where God longs to live.
Zechariah 2, verses 1 and 2. I lifted my eyes and saw, and behold, a man with a measuring line in his hand. Then I said, Where are you going? And he said to me, To measure Jerusalem, to see what is its width, and what is its length.
Wouldn't it be interesting if the angels and I go over the information together, measuring and analyzing the true extent of Jerusalem inside me? Then this unpacking of all the constituent parts of my life, and my assessment, will be presented to the Spirit of His Son, by a spokesman representing my team of living beings. It'll be a case file, so to speak. This needn't be a one-time judgment day. The cliché normally used here is that of a day at the end of time, when God is going to judge us all. That's too logistically awkward. And after all, it's a sort of prophetic image, wrapped in hyperbole, not a hard and fast stipulation as to what is going to actually happen. The vision I have been forming in my mind is that each of us comes and goes, as we progress through sequences of ages and worlds. As each of us dies, we engage in the process I'm suggesting here. So Christ is constantly dealing with this one and that, and their seasons of entering the grave are unique to them. Imagine 100 billion people being taken through these overlapping journeys, with endless variance. I have my own private judgment day, as I leave this world. Next I enter a new age. And I assume I'll eventually depart from that world and age in some manner, and face God's justice, in some appropriate form. You do realize, of course, that I'm making assumptions, by formulating this process within my temporal comprehension of past, present and future. What might I be shown? Perhaps I'm given the opportunity at this stage, before it's all left behind, to gaze at others still on earth, to see some of their victories in Christ. Am I given insight into the myriads of interconnections I have had, in the lives of others, both those still living on earth, and also those stationed somewhere in a heavenly dimension? Am I rewarded by being shown how my words, empathy and compassion have had an impact, in ways I was unable to see at the time, rippling out beyond, and into the lives of others too. Since this is a celebration of those treasures that I've had produced in me, it's not likely I'll be lectured on my failings. I don't anticipate any condemnation. See Romans chapter 8. This is where I begin to understand how just God is.
Romans 2, verse 6. God will reward each one according to his works. Verse 15 and 16. God shall judge the thoughts and the secrets of men. 1 Corinthians 3, verses 12 to 15. If anyone builds on the foundation with gold, silver, precious stones, wood, hay, or straw, each builder's work will be plainly seen, for the day will make it clear, because it will be revealed by fire. And the fire will test what kind of work each has done. If what someone has built survives, he will receive a reward. If someone's work is burned up, he will suffer loss. He himself will be saved, but only as through fire.
It's my own life that has been getting assessed here. And it's not any sort of comparison with other people. That person along from me in my earthly life, who walked little of the path I was destined to struggle along and endure, will not be treated by God's justice in the same way as I am. True justice will surely take into account any paucity of opportunity one of us may have had, in comparison to another. Logically, it may not seem fair, until I am elevated to perceive it through God's eyes.
Romans 2, verse 12. All who have sinned apart from the law will also perish apart from the law, and all who have sinned under the law will be judged by the law. Job 34, verse 10. Therefore, listen to me, you men of understanding. Far be it from God to do wickedness, from the Almighty to do evil.
If someone isn't perceiving divine justice through God's eyes, then they may well refuse to acknowledge God. Perhaps because they struggle with the logic that He has cruelly allowed children to suffer, or some such indignant feeling of injustice. Nothing is achieved by such pride and stubbornness, so then, that person will accrue less in the way of heavenly rewards that will survive the passage of fire, as they encounter the age that is to come for them, after this life.
Job 34, verses 11 and 12. For God repays a person for his work, and according to the conduct of a person, he causes him to encounter the consequences. Indeed, in truth, God does not act wickedly, and the Almighty does not pervert justice.